You guys, you see what the name of it is, hypocritical narratives in boxing. And as you can see, ProBox TV is in the front with Teddy Atlas, uh, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, and the host. All right, we're going to talk about this because we got a lot to chop up. But first, before I do anything, the Most High comes first. It's my first video for the day. So we're going to put the Most High first before we do anything else. All right, so let's get into it. Scripture comes from the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verses 3 to 6. Goes, the lips of an immoral woman are sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But the result is bitter as poison, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps lead straight to the grave, for she does not care about the path of life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't even realize where it leads. Now, my sons, listen to me. Stay away from that woman. Run from her. Don't go near the door of her house. If you do, you will lose your honor, and you will have and hand over merciless people everything you've achieved in life. You will lose. All right. And basically, I'm just going to elaborate on that. People, even I sometimes become a victim of online pornography. Sometimes we become victims to women who can manipulate you because they have done sexual favors for you and stuff like that. You got to be careful, man, out here, because if you think of the Samson and Delilah story, Delilah eventually got Samson to reveal the secret to his strength. And as a result of that, he was able to be captured. So do be very careful with that. And this is to myself as well as to you guys. I am seriously dehydrated. Look at the bags underneath my eyes. All right, let's get into it, though. As with all things, seduction and deception are two very dangerous things. Very dangerous things. And today we're going to talk about a seduction of a way in the deception that I heard on ProBox TV. They asked the question, did Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou help the sport of boxing? Now, the only guy that answered pretty honestly, and I'm not saying he answered completely honestly, but pretty honestly, was Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi said that it's a yes and no to that. It put more eyes on boxing, but it actually harmed the sport of boxing in the way Fury performed. Now, let me say something, because I was listening to Dewey Cooper also respond to, I forgot what the guy's name is, who does the Mayweather channel. And Dewey Cooper said something that was very true. I didn't see a different Tyson Fury. A lot of people saying he was decaying, he on the decline. I didn't see that. I saw a Tyson Fury that was typical Tyson Fury. What we missed was we didn't see that game-changing power that Tyson Fury usually has. And what we also didn't see of Tyson Fury was that using his physical height and strength to bully his opponent. When Tyson Fury was fighting Otto Wallen, he was able to put his body weight down on him, he'd press him down. But because Francis Ngannou is a physically strong, sturdy guy, Tyson Fury couldn't do that with him. And plus, Francis Ngannou in the clinches particularly worked in the clinches, and also Francis Ngannou was not able to be bullied around as Tyson Fury wanted to. So Tyson Fury, for the most of that fight, was on his back foot. He was landing some nice, sharp 1-2 punches straight down the center on Ngannou. He wasn't doing nothing to Ngannou, which shows me that Tyson Fury can't punch. He really can't. And he did cheat against Deontay Wilder. And I believe he used a lot of testosterone. He cheated before against Klitschko. They caught him with testosterone in his blood. He said it was wild bull or wild buffalo or some shit like that. And then the second time with Wilder, he was talking about yanking off to get his testosterone levels up. But actually, he was cheating as well, I guess, before he went into camp. And then on top of that, we talked about the loaded gloves thing. He really did load his gloves. So these are all true things, and try to get his knuckles exposed and all of that. So this guy he probably didn't do those things for the Ngannou fight, which is why Ngannou was walking through him like that. Anyway, and We have also footage of a guy who testified that he was using loaded gloves. He moved the padding from his gloves when he was sparring to do. So we know Tyson Fury cheats. What I'm going to say to you guys is this. These guys on the panel, devoid of Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi is the only honest one on the panel. Even Teddy Atlas. These guys on the panel lied to you guys, saying that it does good for the sport of boxing because of the kind of fight and how it transpired and brought more eyes. Let me tell y'all something. So y'all don't buy into the bullshit that these white commentators, and I say white, I use color, because in the same breath, Teddy Atlas built up Tyson Fury to build Ngannou for Tyson Fury's sake. In that same breath, this racist motherfucker, all right, turned around and started tearing down Jared Anderson, a black fighter. Whether he's conscious of it or not, that is racism, okay? Now, having said that, let's get to it. The rest of the cast is saying that it was good for boxing. More eyes got onto the sport. It was an exciting fight. We may have won more fans into the sport of boxing. I'm going to say this categorically. We won no fans to the sport of boxing. Those people are not going to follow Tyson Fury. They're going to follow Ngannou. What you guys did was see Ngannou fans interested in an Ngannou fight and will follow Ngannou, just like how Jake Paul fans follow Jake Paul, just like how YouTubers follow YouTube boxing. The sport of boxing itself may get one or two, but it will also lose fans to boxing because of how Tyson Fury performed. I will preface this by saying, and especially what Paulie Malignaggi said, I'm going to go with what Paulie said, because Paulie's the only guy on that cast, and I know Paulie's racist and all of that, and I don't care. But Paulie's the only guy on that cast of people that actually spoke the truth. He said, this is a one-off event, just like how Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali. And then after that, Leon Spinks got his ass beat by every single top heavyweight. Why? Because of development. And Paulie's the only person in there who is making sense to me, who said if Ngannou was younger, they could have moved him along to become a proper contender by getting proper people, because boxing's a process. You don't just come in boxing and dominate boxing from day one. Now, let me just make it abundantly clear. What Ngannou did was incredible. Given the right conditions, it was incredible. Did Tyson Fury underestimate Ngannou? Absolutely. That's why he got dropped. He thought he could dominate him. He was hitting him with the 1-2, so he decided to come in with the 1-2, and Ngannou caught him with a hook coming in. And he didn't try to do that after that. He didn't try to bully him. He tried to smother him with his weight, put his weight down on him, and it didn't work. So he had to box him from the outside. That's why in rounds 9 and 10, Ngannou couldn't close the distance like he wanted to. Okay? So, all this hype about Ngannou, Paulie understands it. He sees it already. It's going to go away. Because the next, as Paulie said, Paulie himself said it, and I agree with Paulie, the next heavyweight that trains properly for Ngannou is going to bust his ass up. It's going to annihilate him. All right? It's what it is. This is boxing, y'all. This is not freak of nature thing, okay? Tyson Fury underestimated Ngannou. That's why he got dropped. And he came back from behind and won the fight in the 9th and 10th round. Anybody telling you Ngannou won the fight, I love you, Dewey Cooper. I'm not a hater, okay? But, bruh, Ngannou didn't win that fight, okay? He didn't win that fight. To win that fight, you had to take the 9th and 10th rounds. And what was Tyson Fury doing in the 9th and 10th rounds? Just what his caller told him to do. Jab him. He jabbed him. He out-jabbed him. And that's how he won. That's how he won. He won the fight. Now, if y'all don't know how to fucking score a fight, that's your problem. All right? I've seen pros saying Ngannou won the fight. He won the event, like Sean Porter and many other people were saying. He won the event. No doubt about that. He stole the show. But he did not win that fight. And don't tell me about no judging. That's nonsense. In fact, the judge that actually gave Ndongo 95-94 doesn't know what he's saying. The judge that gave it 96-93, I can't understand how he did that because I can't see it. There was no swing rounds. Okay. So honestly speaking, it was 95-94. Fury edged it out by the skin of his teeth in the rounds 9 and 10. He took the championship rounds. Okay. That's what happened. And we must not listen. It's two fighters in the ring. I couldn't give a fuck what color they are. Okay. I don't like Tyson Fury at this point in time. I really don't. I think he's a clown. I think he's not doing good for boxing. I don't think he's good for boxing right now. Okay. But the one thing about me is this. If a boxer won a fight, I'm going to give the boxer the credit that they deserve because they won the fight. And in my opinion, Tyson Fury won that fight. I scored it. I told y'all Tyson Fury took the first 2 rounds and Ndongo came on in the second. And then in the third, Ndongo dropped him. So Ndongo took the third and fourth. Tyson Fury came back and took the 5th and 6th. Ndongo came back and took the 7th and 8th. And Tyson Fury took the 9th and 10th. That's how it went. Tyson Fury won 6 rounds to 4. 115-114 because Ndongo got a 10-8 round for knocking down Tyson Fury. I told you I scored the rounds. I'm telling you the rounds. So you would know. Right? I'm not just one of those people who talks out his ass. And I watched the fight once. I didn't watch it more than once. I don't need to. Why? I was hearing people say some really dumb shit like, these guys, there wasn't much action in the fight. You know, they wasn't really throwing punches like that. You know why they weren't throwing punches like that? Because they were feinting one another. They were trying to get each other out of position. Okay? It's called boxing. Boxing doesn't have to be action-packed to be exciting. It's the tension. The fact that somebody could crack somebody and that person could go down. And then Ndongo threw some beautiful straight left hands that caught Tyson Fury. Caught him flush. And those straight left hands told me Usyk's going to land them straight left hands all night on Tyson Fury. And the fact that Usyk picked up Tyson Fury tells me Usyk's hell of a lot stronger for those clinches particularly. And Tyson Fury trying to put his weight down on him. I'm telling you, Usyk going to bust his ass. He going to beat up Tyson Fury. Watching y'all see. Tyson Fury going to have to take every single testosterone. He going to have to find every single wild cow and wild bull out there. He going to have to load up with ball bearings in his sockets. And even that ain't going to save him. Because I'm telling you right now, Usyk's going to bust his ass. I'm saying it plain and straight as a boxing fan. Usyk going to beat him. If Ndongo, who's a debutante, he's strong as fuck. Don't get it twisted. But if Ndongo, who's a debutante, be doing that to Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury now figuring him out and stuff. Usyk's going to confuse his ass. Usyk going to do a number on his ass. He ain't going to knock him out, but he definitely going to beat him up. He going to beat him up. Usyk's a nightmare for everybody. Michael Hunter and Usyk. Michael Hunter don't have enough gas in the tank, though. But Michael Hunter and Alexander Usyk are a nightmare for these heavyweights. You know, once upon a time, I thought that Tyson Fury couldn't be beaten by guys smaller than him. I actually was on the Tyson Fury hype train. You know, I said, this guy's legit. Only to find out this guy been cheating. He been cheating. I think he's using cocaine. Cocaine speeds up the synapses, makes you fire up faster. This motherfucker been cheating for a long time. He's a cheater. That's how he succeeded. And he been exposed by Ndongo. Because when he wasn't cheating, he looked ordinary. Y'all say, that doesn't look like the Tyson Fury that fight Deontay because the Tyson Fury that fought Deontay Wilder was cheating. What part of that do you not understand? It's ugly, the sport of boxing. It's an ugly sport. It is what it is. It is what it is. Pacquiao didn't look like the Pacquiao when he was fighting Floyd Mayweather because he was cheating. They had him do mandatory drug testing. He look ordinary now. That's boxing. Y'all gonna say, well, it's not as entertaining. He should have cheated so it could be more entertaining. No. If he's allowed to cheat, then Floyd should be allowed to cheat. Just make it an even playing field. Let them both take the HGH and all of that shit. The growth hormone that Pacquiao was using. That's why he's got big heads, a big head, and big hands. You're cheating. All right, so Boxing's a dirty sport. It is what it is. All right. All right. So let's keep it moving. So the narrative is that the sport of boxing was represented well, and they're trying to take. They're saying the same fucking shit that I heard with Roberto Duran when he lost Sugar Ray Leonard. It's the same shit they use. The same fucking play game. You could tell when people are using racism and they don't realize they're using racism. I'm not saying racism is not a thing in boxing. Boxing always been that way, tribal, right? But my point is, you have to see through the lie, the deception. I'm going to read the scripture back to y'all again, and then I'm going to come back to what I was saying. The lips of the immoral woman. What's the immoral woman? Immoral woman doesn't necessarily have to be a physical woman. An immoral woman can be something that you like a lot, but it's not right for you. Okay? An immoral woman can be something that you're addicted to and you like to hear. What we call a seducing spirit. A spirit that seduces you. You're not thinking straight. You're more in your feelings. You're all about feelings. This makes me feel good. And there are narratives out there for haters, of fighters, and so on that's not based in truth. And it's seducing. That's the immoral woman. Okay? Now, there's also the immoral woman. We were talking porn sites, whether it's streaming, whatever it is. And we find ourselves as men, particularly, not so much women, but men, we find ourselves getting seduced by it when we go to those sites to see that shit and imbibe it and take it in and even participate in it if we can. And we find ourselves addicted to it and we go back and back and back and back. You know what I'm saying? That's the physical one. That's the physical element. That's the literal interpretation. But there's also what called soothsaying, where somebody says something that make you feel good, so you listening to them, and it's far away from the truth. And what does it do? Here's what the scriptures say. It says this. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She does not care about the path of life. She staggers down the crooked trail and doesn't even realize where it leads. Now, my sons, listen to me. Never stray from what I'm about to say. Run from that. Don't be a part of that. Don't go near the door of her house. If you do, you will lose your honor and hand over to merciless people everything you have achieved in your life. See, a lot of times, we don't get it. When we listen to lies or we listen to what we think makes us feel good, whether it's vindictiveness, hate, whatever. When we listen to a deception, it actually hurts us. And we don't realize that until later on when we have to depend on that deception. We got to depend on that deception to back us up. And then we realize we got nothing to back us up. And we're exposed and left to hang dry because our perception was erroneous. And then people mercilessly tear us apart. Okay? So, going back to this. So, you know, when we're looking at the panel, Chris Algieri, you know, he don't like to rock the boat, so he's going along with what everybody else is saying. Teddy is spinning a yarn, and while he's doing that, he's slaying Jared Anderson, dirtying his name, because if y'all know anything about Jared, they're saying Jared Anderson didn't face nobody to prepare him for a fight with this dude, Ngannou. And truth be told, see, I'm not into the bullshit. The last person Jared Anderson faced was a great test that prepares him for a guy like Ngannou, particularly Ngannou. It might be an easier fight for Jared Anderson, actually, because Jared's a shorter guy. He's more Ngannou's height. And see, Jared Anderson, I don't like people who throw other fighters under the bus. And of all people, Teddy Atlas, of all people, threw Jared under the bus. You don't do that shit, man. You don't do that fucking shit. You just don't do that. Jared Anderson faced Charles Martin, former world champion, crafty, skilled. So Charles Martin, are you saying Teddy Atlas to Charles Martin, an experienced, veteran, heavyweight, former champion, you're telling me that Charles Martin wasn't Jared Anderson's test? He was tested in that fight. That's a step-up fight. He won't be ready for a Francis Ngannou who doesn't. Francis Ngannou still learning boxing, y'all. He got some skills. They're not totally honed, but he's still learning boxing. You telling me Francis Ngannou, Jared Anderson won't pass the test against Francis Ngannou, an upcoming young, strong, skilled champion won't be able to pass Francis? Come on, man. That's it. That's the absolute perfect fight for Jared Anderson. A guy with a big name, now in the top 10 heavyweights. He's a perfect fight for Jared Anderson. But Jared Anderson is not a perfect fight for Francis Ngannou because of the paycheck. That's the real reason. So instead of Teddy Atlas putting Jared Anderson under the bus, which is nonsense, what Teddy Atlas should have done was said, that's a great fight for Jared Anderson. In fact, Ngannou is a great fight for Jared Anderson because he showed he got some skill, he got some ability, he's a smart fighter. That's what he should have said. I'm not sure Jared Anderson can pass that test. What kind of stupid talk is that? And we see that Ngannou, he's strong. He's strong, he can punch hard. So he has a threat of knocking you out. As Jared almost got knocked out by what's the kid name? Charles Martin, right? A perfect fight for Jared Anderson. That's not the problem. The problem is Jared Anderson don't bring no money. And at this stage in the game, Ngannou ain't looking for no challenger. He just fought a champion. He's at championship status. He's a contender now, whether he likes it or not. He's a contender, a top contender. So you wouldn't put a top contender with another top contender. You put a top contender to challenge for another championship, particularly in his performance against Tyson Fury. And this guy wants to make money, and he's 35 years old. He's at the end of his career. So he's not looking to face contenders. He's looking to face top contenders. He's not looking to face a guy that's now entering into being in top contention. So that's the reason. That's the only reason that don't make no sense. He just fought a name. He's going to be fighting names from here on in. And Ngannou, he put himself in that position. Whether or not the next name opponent beats him comprehensively, doesn't matter. He puts himself, like Paulie said, he puts himself in a position where he can get a paycheck. So it's not about whether Jared Anderson could beat him. He's not going to be facing a Jared Anderson. He's not going to be facing a whatever, some guy that, no. This guy's going to be facing big names. The next fight this guy has is going to be a big name. Especially in light of his performance against a big name fighter. That's just what it is. So they put themselves in a great position to make big money. Their performance has allowed them that. So what Teddy did what he did to Jared Anderson is unacceptable. It's wrong. But when you're lying and you want to lie to the public, you have to follow it up with a second lie. Teddy Atlas is basing this on Jared Anderson's performance against Charles Martin, where Charles Martin looked like he was going to knock him out. That's what he's looking at. But Jared Anderson would have learned from that experience. That was a growth experience for him. So that when he faces a Ngannou or any top 10 boxer from here on in, he has that experience to rely on. That's the point of boxing. That's the point of growing in boxing. And the fact that he had heart and he toughed it out and he made it to the end, and he also, gave as good as he received, showed us that he got the stuff to do what he needs to do. This was a tough fight. It was a big step-up fight for him. Now, having said that, Ngannou took a tremendous step-up fight going up against Tyson Fury, and he was well prepared. We're not even trying to shortchange Ngannou when it comes to what he accomplished, because what he did was almost damn near impossible. No fighter on his debut, even fighters with extensive amateur careers, goes 10 rounds with another fighter and beats them. The only guy I think that did that was Lomachenko. I think he went 10 rounds in his first fight. but he had like 300 and something amateur fights. This guy had no amateur fights. He has no pro fights, and he goes into the 10-rounder with arguably one of the best heavyweights in the heavyweight division, and gave him hell, dropped him, and made the fight competitive. That's never been heard of in the sport of boxing. Well, it has, but that's you have to go way back hundreds of years to hear about that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in recent boxing's history, you've not heard about that. So that is remarkable. I'm not going to even try to. Dewey Cooper and company and Mike Tyson, y'all did a great job with this dude, because nobody, I don't care who they say they are, unless you associate with the guy's camp, nobody was thinking this guy would even have a chance against Tyson Fury. We thought Tyson Fury would dust him. Honestly, we thought Tyson Fury would knock him out. Tyson Fury came in like Tyson Fury. Nobody's saying no. This dude did something much greater than we expected. Much. You know? And kudos to him on that. He was counterpunching Tyson Fury. You know, he was mainly doing a good job of counterpunching him. He slid in with a beautiful jab to the body. You know, he switched from orthodox to southpaw. He was actually landing the southpaw hand. Tyson Fury couldn't land his southpaw shots. He had to go back orthodox. So, you know, and Ngannou did a lot of tremendously fantastic things. Not the cleanest, but he was sharper than Tyson Fury, but he wasn't the cleanest at what he was doing. And he was shooting straight shots. The key here was he was shooting straight shots. You know, you throw the hook every now and then. Beautiful right hands to the body. He targeted the body very well in the orthodox and southpaw. You know, worked in the clinch very well. So, you know, he showed a lot of really good stuff that exposed Tyson Fury. He showed how much better he was than Tyson Fury was. He really was a better boxer. The problem with him was he didn't know how to pace himself. He wasn't consistent with his jab. If he had consistently used his jab at sliding in, but I guess he was tired. He was trying to, you know, he's staying right outer side of range, moving into range very well. He was doing a lot of really good things, resisting the clinch very well. He was doing a lot of very good things. Okay. And they're saying he can get better, so that's cool. But you got to understand something. Now, his growth curve is ridiculous, but you got to understand something though. If he goes up against Anthony Joshua, like Paulie was saying, Anthony Joshua go on boxing. He's got to play him. Anthony Joshua going to play him, because once Tyson Fury found that range, it was hard for Ngannou to do anything to close the distance. Once Tyson Fury started establishing a certain range, and Ngannou was kind of tired too. So if you just jab this dude, just a jab, you just need one hand to beat this guy. This guy got a lot of skill and everything. You know, his head movement's not that great. He gets hit with flush shots down the center, so his head movement's not that great. He had to work on his head movement. His movement on slipping off of the he stays outside of range. He stays off a center line. He has to keep his head off a center line, or he keeps his high guard up, because he has a high guard way of fighting. But honestly speaking, I see Anthony Joshua beating him. I see Deontay Wilder knocking him out. I see Andy Ruiz tearing him apart. I mean, ripping him apart. I mean, he might be able to counter Andy Ruiz at some point. I heard him a little bit, but Andy Ruiz would rip him up. You know, you gotta understand, this guy, he good. He did extremely well for a debut, but I think that's going to be the highlight of his career. If Tyson Fury even rematches him, Tyson Fury would, you know, take him to school, pick him out from the outside, pick him apart, might even stop him from the outside. He might take a lot of damage in the next fight. Because, to be honest with you, you fight this guy from range, he can't do nothing. You know? You just keep him off of you, and that's it. And you can outbox him. That's what Tyson Fury basically did. You gotta be careful, because he can counterpunch you, but that's it. He knows how to slide in and land punches and cover distance only when you are not keeping your jab in his face. He'll do it on the offbeat. He'll slide in, and since he's using a high guard, and that's not slipping to get to the inside most of the time, He's going to be on the outside most of the time. And then you neutralize him right there. But he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's an excellent athlete. But not just an excellent athlete. He fought with a lot of maturity, composure, just a lot of intangibles that will really carry him a long way. It's unfortunate that he's so old because, the kind of top tier competition he had to face, I don't think he survived. He had the right conditions. He had the right time. He met a guy that underestimated him, and that is why he was able to perform as he did. If Tyson Fury did what he did in rounds 9 and 10, this dude wouldn't be in the fight at all. He probably might have got stopped. He got beat up real bad. So, I say all of this to say that you can't buy into the hype of people, And shout out to Dewey Cooper and the whole team for a great job they did with this guy, because this guy was totally focused. Showed skill set, showed that we were wrong about him. And Tyson Fury showed us that he ain't all that. He really ain't. And all the rumors and all the stuff that they were talking about with him, the dirty elbowing that he tried to do, he tried to put his weight down and he was trying to fight dirty. We saw it and we realized, so this is what this guy's all about. This guy is full of shit. So Tyson Fury full of shit. I didn't realize that. I thought this guy was Tyson Fury was really legit, but no. Otto Wallen exposed him. And then this guy exposed him. He don't got a chin, because if you got a chin, you ain't gonna go down. He gets knocked down all the time. But I can tell you right now, he's not fearing all that. All that hype y'all put around him, y'all gonna have to eat your words now. Teddy Atlas, all of y'all. Shakur Stevenson, all of y'all that was hyping this dude up. And I even had to shut my ass up, because I remember back in the day I was saying, this guy could beat, Muhammad Ali. I was even saying that shit. But I'm a full of shit, because I realized this dude ain't that. He ain't that dude. I thought he was, but he ain't. And as to Tyson Fury beating Usyk, that's not happening. Usyk's gonna beat his ass. Usyk's gonna beat his ass. Yep, Usyk's gonna be the dude with 4 straps. He really is the dude. Kudos to Usyk on that. You know what I mean? So that's what I got for you guys, and what you need. Don't believe the narrators out there, man. And these people trying to make this sound like it's something good and twisted, because it's Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury a clown in boxing, y'all. He a fucking clown. All right? I don't like this dude anymore. I don't mean it in terms of, when I mean I don't like it, I don't like his boxing. I don't like his attitude. That's what I mean. I don't mean personally, because I don't know him personally. He might be a nice person personally, but his attitude and he ain't all that. He really isn't. He really is a cheater. That's what this guy is. He's a dirty cheater. So I want nothing to do with this dude. I want nothing to do with him, especially the fact that you gonna cherry pick this dude instead of face Usyk, face the best. Man, way with you, man. Now he talking about fighting Usyk. Yeah, well, we're gonna see if you're gonna fight Usyk, because he's gonna whoop your ass. You're gonna get ass whooping. For sure. For sure. You're going to get beat. For sure. Okay? So you're going to have to pull some more cheating, and you're going to have to find a way to get floppy gloves and stuff. I'm hearing people disrespecting Deontay Wilder, talking about how Francis Ngannou is a better fighter than Deontay Wilder, technique-wise and so on. Listen, man. If he a better fighter than Deontay Wilder, y'all just chirping like this. If he a better fighter than Deontay Wilder, match him up then. Wilder wants to face him. Wilder's happy to face him. Bet you Wilder knock his ass out. Because them shots that Tyson Fury was hitting him with, those 1-2s, straight down the center, Wilder gonna hit him with those 1-2s. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if he's standing still. I'm telling you right now, Wilder would knock his ass out. He getting hit too easy and too flush. Fury was landing some flush shots on his ass. He won't go nowhere because Fury can't punch. But Wilder can punch. Wilder can punch. All right? Took a cheating ass Fury to knock down Wilder and knock him out. It was cheating. That's all I gotta say. I am what you need. And Fury came in with the heaviest he has ever been in his career. That was supposed to give him more punching power for Ngannou. And he did nothing to Ngannou. Not one damn thing. Alright? Wilder is a smaller guy than Ngannou. Nobody say no. But we see Wilder can punch like a mule. He can't. Ngannou cannot afford to get hit with the right hand of Wilder. He can't afford to. And he will get hit with the right hand of Wilder, and he will be put to sleep. That's all I gotta say. So Wilder, of course, Wilder will be chomping at the bit to fight him. Of course. Of course. Because he know he can get that right hand in. He said, watch the Fury fight. You know, Ngannou gets hit with right hands. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace. What you need out.